Oh, these have, oh, come on, really? I need to replace this piece, and I was hoping I'd be able to pull this off without having to take this off the top of the base. All they had to do is leave a bit more of a gap there, and this would have been an easy replacement. Now we're good. All right, those are temporarily back on there. And yeah, so we're gonna replace this buckle piece with a new one. Good, how you doing? You guys haven't had a Ford Econoline van out there? It's been a while since I've been out at the Auto Wreckers. We might be in business if we can get the door open. There we go. All right. That's the part we need there. Is that my dash cluster? Oh, it's the digital one too. We, this is good news. This place is disgusting. Well, there she is. I'm guessing it's the same. Looks the same. All right. Let's do this. I had to remove the seat off this one because the slide rail thing was in the way. This one's actually wedged between that little hole. That's it. New seatbelt piece. And I was talking to the guy inside, and dash clusters are 35 bucks. Will it fit? Yes. Will it plug into mine? Maybe. Is it worth the $35 chance? Yes. From what I understand, there is a high risk that this cluster is not going to fit. So I was talking to a dash cluster company in Toronto because they have some for sale. Some from my year, gasoline, the whole little bit for sale. And I was like, hey man, will that just drop in and work? He said, no. Like, what do you mean no? It's the same year, same everything. He's like, yeah, but the problem is every number on the back of that cluster has to be a 100% match. If one number is out, it ain't gonna work. So it's not like I could just go to a wrecker, pull one out like I am, and everything's gonna function right. So my hope with this one here is that by plugging in the cluster, maybe the gauges don't work, but maybe that will still complete my charging system so I can send mine out and still drive around. Or maybe I'll pull this one out and find out it's a phone number's match to mine. I'll have to pull my cluster out and take a look, but here we go. All right, last piece here is push this down, slide that back. This goes all the way back, bada boom, and we have a dash cluster. Whether it's gonna work, I'm really not sure. So when I'm in mine, the dinging is coming from right here. If I put my ear here, it's here, not underneath, not anywhere in there. I have looked through everything. There's no dinger anywhere. There's no module that you can shut off or unplug. It's coming from right there, inside of this little bugger. this one's got the digital thing in the corner like mine, except for this one's in miles per hour instead of kilometers. All I'm really hoping to get out of this thing is to allow me to take mine out and get it repaired. Just like that. This goes up, that goes through. Bada boom. All right. People in the comments, let's see if replacing this thing fixed that. All right, let's see. Well, the seatbelt light is on. Well, let's plug in the seatbelt. It is still on. It's supposed to shut off, my friends. I just wonder if that beep was me taking it out. There's your bing. So let me explain to you how I perceived this dinging. This long ding, that one, that's it, my vehicle telling me I have low fuel. The fast bing, 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 bing one, that's my seatbelt. So as of right now, it's telling me my seatbelt is plugged in, the light's off. That long bing is my low fuel light. This is driving me nuts. So the reason why I fixed my seatbelt thing is because there was some broken wires and stuff on my last one. So I was hoping that that was what was causing part of it, but apparently not. I think these are all just clipped on here, I think. Yeah. So I got this out. If you take a look inside, there's the little metal thing. You kind of have to pull it backwards this way. I just used a knife and I pulled it towards this way. On here, there's like jagged teeth. That clicks over top of it, so you got to pull this back in order to pull that out. My shifter's in the way. We're gonna have to put this into first and get this out of here. Oh. So now what I've got to do here is take these corner ones out. There's 4 of them on here, and this thing should just come right out. I am not holding high hopes for this, but I will pull it out and check the numbers on the side first. As soon as I get this thing out and find out if it works or it doesn't work, I'm going to call the dash cluster company in Toronto and see how fast they can turn this thing around. This should come right out. So when this comes out, on the bottom here, there's 2 pins. You push these in, and that's the parking. There you go, that's out. Now, on the top here, if you remember these from the Rada Wrecker, that pin has to be pushed down. And then that gray rocker, sorry guys, the gray rocker comes all the way back and pulls the plug out. Just like that. If you guys can see here, a little pin, slide the rocker back, and it actually pushes the plug right out the top. Bada boom. So the one I grabbed from the wrecker, you can't read the numbers on there at all. Yeah, you can't even make it out. Mine are still visible, but we're just gonna try it. Really, honestly, what's the worst that can happen? I know you guys are gonna tell me I'm gonna blow my van up, but I can't hear you right now, so. Dash clusters are making some noise. All the dials make them made a funny noise. Lock them in, lock them in. Okay, dash cluster. I'm gonna put one screw in there just so I can get a good look at this thing. Whoa, don't fall. Guys, stop drinking. Fuel gauge goes up. So you can do a reset on the gauges by just turning your key forward and holding this at the same time. And it puts everything into a test mode. And then they should go all the way up, all the way back down, and then center themselves. So I know I have 3/4 of a tank of gas, but I think it's just not reading anything on here. So for those of you guys that want to know where that beeping is, I know some of you guys just go underneath the dashboard, and just unplug the beeper. Unplug the beeper underneath the dashboard. My comments have been riddled with go underneath the dashboard. All it is just a little module you can unplug. Well, let's solve that one right now. I've been telling you guys over and over that this is inside the dash cluster. Just bring this out, flip her upside down. It is right here. It comes from right in here. Plug mine in just for giggles. 100% in this thing. Like 100%. So if I shut that off and put the dinger down here where everybody said there was a dinger. No. What about in here, guys? Listen. Is it back here? Nope. Now what about right in the cluster? That is right. That beeper is inside of here. So this is my gauge back in. I'm gonna look at it. The fuel didn't even budge, so I know that my fuel sender down there does work because it worked on the new gauge. When I plugged in my seatbelt on the last one, the seatbelt light went away. On this one, it doesn't. Doesn't go away at all when I plug in my seatbelt. The other one did for sure. So yeah, time to call that cluster company.
Good afternoon, Dashboard Instrument Cluster. How can I help you?
Yeah, I have a dash cluster. I phoned you guys a little bit ago. I have a dash cluster I need to send in for repair.
Okay, what's the year, make, and model?
2004 Ford Econoline 250.
Okay, can you hold on 1 second? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the dash cluster company, I spoke to one of the technicians the last time I phoned there, and he was telling me it's best to repair the one that you have instead of installing another one, because there's a high chance if those numbers don't line up, it's not going to work. You just can't pull one from a wrecker that's out of the same year vehicle as yours and drop it in your vehicle and it's going to work. Today, that showed you that exactly happened. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter if it came out the exact same year, the exact same fan, the exact same everything. It's not always going to work. So I think that they told me that there's a slim percentage that the van's going to have the exact identical cluster. That's it. My cluster's out, got everything filled out here with all the problems and stuff that are going on. This is going out via UPS right now, but I gotta go because they're closing soon. I'll grab the meter. So the other cluster has been shipped out, and what I'm doing right now is testing my battery, then starting my van and testing my battery again, because I have the used cluster that I picked up from the wrecker today that doesn't really work, plugged into my dashboard, and I just want to see if maybe that cluster completes the electrical circuit and allows me to drive and charge at the same time. That would mean I still would have binging, a different tone of binging on the replacement cluster, but it would still allow me to travel around, which is a huge bonus. So this thing is reading 12 point, can you guys see that? Now I'm gonna go start it. That's with the vehicle running. I see we're doing pretty good here. 13.99. Look at that, my friends. So the alternator is sending up a charge. I think we're in business. So awesome that everything out here has worked out the way it has. Finding a gas tank was what led me to go back to that same spot today going, if they got a used gas tank from the wrecker, chances are they got the whole van, and they did, and it was awesome that we got all the parts that we needed today, and that dash cluster may not have worked, but it's continued my charging of the vehicle, which allows me to move around, drive, and explore until my dash cluster comes back. That means hopefully very, very soon, nor you nor me will have to hear bing, 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 bing ever again. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.